Stick Savior. Yeah, all these achievements I didn't see, so they must have been hidden.
You guys sure about this?
There's no other way. It drove our friend to madness and nearly killed us all. So what do you guys want to play now? How about Dinosaur Hunters?
Or pharaohs and mummies?
Let's ask Douchebag. What do you want to play next, dude? Screw you guys. I'm going home.
Oh, don't be like that.
Wow, what a dick.
Oh, Jesus. Man, Bear, Pig lives. All right, well, that was South Park, The Stick of Truth. Ended a little bit sooner than I thought I did, but even ended a little sooner than I thought it was going to, is what I meant to say. But it was definitely quite a long playthrough, especially since I tried to do pretty much everything. And I still missed quite a bit. I missed like 3 Pokemons. I missed a bunch of armor and weapons and patches. But yeah, so anyway, this is where I normally do my mini review of the game, kind of my off-the-cuff review. Overall, I very much enjoyed it. It was, if you're a South Park fan, it's definitely got a lot of in-jokes that you'll catch. And I'm sure there's a ton of in-jokes that I missed because I haven't seen maybe like half of the existing episodes. So a lot of the things were funny, even if you didn't get them, but they were just funnier if you got the in-joke. So, excuse me. But yeah, you don't have to have watched the show to find a lot of what was funny, right? Does that make sense? The RPG aspects, again, I heard somebody was saying, oh, the RPG elements, the combat's really shallow. I think that's not really correct. I don't think it's fair to say that. It's not that in depth, but the way that you can synergize and have different builds, even within the same, like, whatever skills you have, I think is really cool. Being able to switch your armor out and switch the badges and weapons and weapon add-ons and all that, and kind of, again, synergize with your existing skills. I think that's really neat. Like, we had a few different builds that I think were pretty successful. For example, the one where the sword that did more damage the more armor you had. I wish there was more swords like that, honestly. I would like to have seen a sword or some kind of weapon later on that had the same thing, where you give up putting on direct damage, but you instead put on armor, which of course has a side benefit that you take less damage too. So I don't think it's fair to say that it's shallow. It's not super deep, but I think it was fun. It was enjoyable. It was enjoyable to come up with ways to kind of maximize your abilities to, do the most damage or survive the easiest or whatnot. I could definitely see some different builds for rogues that I didn't try, like very high health with a lot of leech. So basically, you may not do a lot of damage, but you never die because you just keep leeching all your health back over and over again. So yeah, I think it's unfair to say it's shallow. I get the impression they didn't really explore the possibilities of the various item and add-on combinations. Again, that's not to say it was super deep either. It wasn't. But, there's definitely variety there, even within a same class. That's not even to forget the fact that there's multiple classes. So, yeah, I don't think that's fair. The story itself was, of course, completely insane. And they just kept cranking it up a notch the more and more you played, which was impressive because it started off pretty crazy. And I absolutely love how the South Park guys do not give a shit about offending anyone. They just throw it out there. In this day and age, like, so many people, like, you can't, they're constantly crying about being offended by something, or you didn't have a female character, or, oh, there's too many white characters, or you said this, or you said that. It's like, that's offensive. It's like, you know what? I'm so glad to see finally have somebody have the balls to say, fuck all that. Here's a game. It's funny. We're not being serious. We're just poking fun at all these things. And remember when you could actually do that and things would actually be funny and not deserve being writ about and how terrible the game developers on, or Polygon or Kotaku or Polytaku, as I've heard it called, But yeah, it's so nice to be able to see that, like the child. You can call it childish juvenile humor if you want, because a lot of it is childish juvenile, but it's still fucking funny if you're not, you know, super uptight. But yeah, you know that I really like the humor. It was really funny. Obviously, the voice acting was great because they had the voice actors from the show, so all that went really well. The customization of the character was pretty cool. The hair was kind of a pointless customization because the vast majority of helmets covered almost all of your hair anyway. But, I mean, I guess it's cool that it was there. It'd have been nice if there was an option to just hide whatever helm you're wearing. That would have been nice. You can do the eyes and the glass. There's a tons of different options for hair and eyes and freckles and tattoos and facial hair. So that was really neat that they had all of that available. There was a lot of, felt like there was a good amount of side quests and just side things to do. Wasn't a ton, but there was enough to make it feel like it was worth my while. And I think I did every single side quest. I think I redid every single quest in the game. Pretty sure. Unless there was one I missed, but I was pretty thorough as far as quests go. But like I said, I still missed like 3 Chipokemon, which is distressing. It would be nice if they let you play the game after the credits are over, so I can go back and find those missing Chipokemon, like off camera. They probably won't, and I can understand that. If they didn't, that's fine. And honestly, I don't even know if I did. And if I did, I'd probably cheat and just look it up, because, like I say, I looked all over the place and I couldn't find them. So, anyway, so the overall, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, where a 10 is perfect game, which I've never given a game a 10 ever, and a 5 would be equal parts good, equal parts bad. I'd give this game about an 8. About an 8, maybe an 8.5. Probably not quite that high, maybe an 8. It depends. I don't know how different the classes are. If the classes are different enough to warrant a different playthrough and feel different, it might be worth it. But I don't really feel like the game has a lot of replayability, because even if the classes are different, there's not really any choices in how you do the quests, right? You pretty much just do them however they want you to for the most part. There's not like option of, ooh, take this item or keep it for yourself or return it or whatever, like good and bad options or what have you. So there's not really a lot of replayability, I don't think, but it's definitely absolutely worth playing through if you're a South Park fan and if you're an RPG fan. So yeah, I would say an 8. If you're a South Park fan and you like RPGs at all, it's a no-brainer. I think you should pick this up. Now, as far as a price rating, I like to give a price rating as well. Basically, that's how much I think you should pay for this game. If you're like me and you like South Park, you like RPGs, and you like to try to do everything, you like to do the side quests, you like to try to find all the hidden items, I could see paying upwards. I could pay $50 for this. 60, I think, is a little pushing it, unless you're just absolutely huge South Park fan. Then maybe 60. But if you, again, you're like me, like South Park, like RPGs, like that type of humor, and can see yourself doing side quests and whatnot, I would definitely say within the 50 range. Oh, let's see what happens here. Quest completed. Betrayal from within. Oh, so it is going to let me play. That's cool. I like that. One thing I will say, you have 4 new friends. Oh. All hail the anal pleasure king. Mayor McDaniel. Straw poll. How would you feel as a voter about the idea of dissolving the city council? Well, I do. Oh, I love that they're going to let me play afterwards so I can find the hidden shit. That's really cool on them. I hate when a game has a lot of hidden things and then you're just like, once you beat the game, it's like, oh, sorry, you're boned. You can't play anymore. Sorry. Looks like it put new stuff in here as well. Within some of these. But yeah, going back to the price, if you're not a big fan of South Park, you just maybe like RPGs, but maybe you only kind of like South Park, maybe 30, maybe 40, probably more around the 30 range. If you are okay with this type of humor, more in the 40s. If you're easily offended, first off, you've probably not made it this far anyway, but if you're easily offended, don't play this game at all, because I'm sure it's just going to be awful. You will almost certainly truly hate this game.
Watch out for strangers.
Son, I'll give you $20 if you talk right now.
Oh, come on. It's $20. But yeah, if you, hey, sorry, think about the price range. Yeah, if you, I don't know. I think that's pretty much the valid price. Obviously, again, if you're easily offended or you don't like South Park at all, I don't think there's enough to spend more than maybe $15 to $20, because again, a lot of it is because you're playing in South Park. It looks like a damn episode of the show. The humor is there, but again, if you're not really into that humor, again, while I like the RPG mechanics, there's probably a lot of better RPGs mechanics-wise that you could play. And you're probably not really... You might be put off by the completely unserious nature of the game and the quests and the humor and all that. So let's go in the Koopa Keep and see what's going on in here. See if there's anything different. See if they say anything. So yeah, that's my overall review. Again, I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I know it's been a very long Let's Play because I tended to try to do everything. Oh my god, Princess Kenny's alive. Yes.
Princess Kenny said it was all just PMS, but I'm not so sure.
Okay, I can't go into Koopa Keep. Hey, Token.
Everything's back the way it was. Almost like it never happened.
Yes.
That's cool, you're a king now. Not a wizard king like me, but it's still cool.
Okay, so it's a little different. So now...
How may I be of service? Got some pretty good word here.
I can go back and buy all the shit that I didn't get and do all that. That's cool. I don't know if I'll actually do it, and I'll definitely won't be doing it on camera, but it's cool that you can do it. But yeah, I don't know. I very much enjoyed it. Again, if you're a fan of South Park, if you're a fan of this type of humor, and you like RPGs, it was satisfying. I felt the combat was fun, enjoyable, strategy, like figuring out builds and how I wanted to do in combat and all that was fun to me. Again, not super deep, but it had some depth to it that made it enjoyable and had a strategic element to it. So anyway, I've been rambling on enough. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this Let's Play. As always, leave comments. Let me know what you thought of it. Follow me on Twitter, and I will see you next time.